So we were reading the
Oh, you froze.
vendor, right?
Sorry, could you start over, Rose? You froze for.
Can anybody hear me?
Gotta be quiet.
Hello.
Hello. Oh man.
I think she froze.
Yeah, like her camera's.
Let me try.
Oh, I think you're back.
That didn't work.
We're off to a good start.
Welcome to the live show.
All right, let's see.
Oh, we're good. I can see you.
I'm sorry?
I can see you. I think we're back.
Okay, I can't see. I can see you, but I can't see Sean.
Oh, you can't see me?
But it doesn't matter. That's fine. No offense, Sean. It's okay. Let's just get this over. Oh my God. Oh no! I think I did it again. Okay, there we go. Oh, okay. All right. Am I back? Can you see me?
You're good.
Okay. Sorry, guys. We should have probably did this on Wednesday or something. Oh my! It's 103 degrees outside.
I know.
I just walked in the door and I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay. All right. I digress.
Okay, Rose, did you want to say something before we got started?
I just wanted to, on the reading. So we were reading the Peppler and Bender.
Yes.
Oh, okay, perfect. I was like, okay, that was all.
And then the Sheridan.
Okay.
Okay, so just as a little background on us, I'll start off. I'm April, and I am a science teacher at Orange Glen High School in Escondido. This is my 3rd year teaching, and I finished BITSA, so I thought, why not get started on the master's program?
Very good.
So it's jumping around, but Rose, do you want to go next?
Sorry, is it jumping around because of me? Sure. My name is Rose Brown. I'm actually faculty at Cal State San Marcos. I mean, I work with faculty at Cal State San Marcos. I work in faculty affairs, and part of my job is hiring of the tenure track faculty. So my goal in getting my master's is to transition to working with students as opposed to faculty. So I'm not a teacher. I mean, I did substitute for a little bit when I first graduated, but I'm at a big disadvantage because I know most of you guys are teachers. So
I don't think that's it.
This is all new to me, completely new.
All right, Sean, you want to
go? Oh, of course. Right, so my name is Sean Arnett. I am currently a substitute teacher over at River Springs Charter School. Right now, I'm in the master's program because I figured I already got my credentials in single subject English, and I figured I might as well get it out. Might as well get the master's out of the way and have that completed and done.
Very cool. I'm just turning on my volume a little. Okay, so the readings that we did were Maker Movement Spreads Innovation One Project at a Time. That was the shorter one.
Okay.
And then the Learning in the Making, a comparative case study of 3 maker spaces. That was the longer one. That was the one that actually went through the 3 examples of the maker spaces. And my kickoff question is kind of a 2-parter, so I'll start with the first part. What was your background knowledge of maker spaces before we started reading this? What did you guys already know about the maker movement? If anything, if you didn't, then that's cool too.
I didn't know anything about maker movement, what it was. Yeah.
Uh, as for me, I did remember some clubs after school that had students like come into the wood shop to make things, as well as combine circuitry to make like these powered up boats, these powered up wood boats. I don't know if that necessarily counted as a makerspace, but it seemed to be like something as discussed in the readings.
Yeah, they talk about circuits a lot. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I said, sorry, you're really loud and I can barely hear him. So then I turn up my volume to hear Sean. And then when you start talking, I was like, it like blows out my eardrum. It's not your fault though, but sorry.
Okay. Before reading this article, I had heard of Makerspace movement just at lunch. One of my coworkers was talking about the Maker Faire that's in San Diego. If you guys don't already know, October 1st and 2nd, there's a Maker Faire going on at Balboa Park. It's $20 for entry, but it sounds really cool. My coworkers have actually been to it before, and they say that people bring all different kinds of things that they've made there, like different cars and gadgets and costume ideas. But before that, I kind of just thought it was like have you guys ever heard of a Renaissance fair?
Yeah, I've actually been to one of those.
Yeah, so I'm big on Renaissance fairs, and I thought it was just like a bring your stuff and sell it kind of thing. Like I didn't know it was an actual learn how to make things event. So the next question I had was, how has your perception changed since reading about the three spaces? Like what, I guess I kind of answered my other question there, but what do you think about makerspaces now after reading about the three different examples?
For me, these makerspaces, I could see this as something as, I'm trying to put this into words now, so jumbled up with this. This could get kids into exploring the different sciences, engineering. It could pique their interest. Not to mention, it makes them feel, empowered because they're able to create these things from their own imaginations. I've heard so many kids playing on Minecraft just because it's this platform where they can create things. They're able to use their imaginations to make whatever houses or buildings or worlds they want to make. And I think that's just another step up. That's like a physical form of them using their imagination to create something without any limits.
Just so you guys know, when I'm looking down, it's because I'm supposed to take notes. So I'm still listening.
Of course.
But Sean, could you talk a little louder, maybe?
Oh. Yeah, is it my mic? Oh, man. I thought I was talking a little bit. Oh, let me go fix that.
So while he's fixing that, I mean, I guess I can go a little bit if that's okay.
Yeah.
So for me, this whole topic is sort of a challenge for me because even as I was reading, the articles about maker movement, it seemed, so it talks about fostering a mindset of creativity in educational settings. But my question is, unless the student, I was trying to find correlation with a student who's not necessarily into like a Minecraft, like you were saying, or a STEM side of it, or a robotics side of it. How does, so I guess what I'm saying is that it almost seems like it would alienate some students, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm just asking. That's just sort of like.
Go ahead.
I'm
gonna refer to the article.
Okay.
you can find it. It's a very long article. At one point in the very big article, they were talking about a girl who wasn't even interested at all in makerspaces and actually was forced into it. I think it was the third of the 3 stories. Mount Elliott. Do you remember her?
Could you say that?
I don't have it with me.
Yeah, the third, for the really big article, the third makerspace they were talking about, they talked about a girl who wasn't even interested in joining. Oh, here it is. Okay, so it's on page 518. It says, the majority of regular youth participants we interviewed at Mount Elliott had little prior experience in making, and some began with little interest. And then they go on to talk about a woman who, at the start to do it, maybe just brings out the curiosity in people that they don't even know that they have. But I do agree that there's probably some students who don't have that curiosity about building things at all.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm just kind of, I understood that's how they explained it in the article, but like if I even just take, I can only take like me because I'm not a teacher. And that's just not something for me that I would find interesting as far as going somewhere to create a 3D of anything. I don't know, and I'm sure it's just because I'm old, and but like trying to just, just trying to understand that how you can include like everybody. And I guess with education, you really, sometimes there's certain aspects of it you can't include everybody.
Yeah, some things you have to force on them until they like it.
I can see what you mean. Yeah. Again, there's always going to be that possibility that, you know, I'm not going to be completely interested in it, but it's definitely worth a shot to like bring it, to introduce that into the school community and see who may have their interest piqued. Who knows, maybe you have.
I can't hear you. Are you talking? No, I'm. April, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Say something really loud.
Oh boy.
Sean,
Okay.
yell. Pretend you're mad.
Pretend I'm mad.
Yeah, just say, ah.
Can you hear him?
Oh my gosh, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Let's see.
If you can hear me, I think that maybe he's just being quiet. Oh wait, yeah, I lost you. I don't see you anymore, Rose.
I don't see you either. What happened? Hello?
Hello?
I can hear you. I can't see you.
Oh, did you turn off your cam?
No? Right. Camera's showing. Oh. Hello? Did I lose you both?
No, I can hear you. I just can't see you.
April,
can you hear me?
Yes.
You have the control room setting, right?
Yeah.
I was wondering how.
But
Is there any way to like change my mic level?
Your volume's all the way turned up.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
But I can hear you better now. I think you just needed to get closer or something. I'm not sure.
I
But
think
I can hear you.
I think that's probably what I probably have to do for the rest of this now. Hopefully, it's not focusing on like one.
No, you're at a perfect volume. But I still can't see Rose. And but Rose, can you hear us? Because we could just keep going with you if you can hear us. Probably lost Rose.
Oh yeah. Well, she's still there.
I
I think her mic's off. Both her
see that I can mute people, but I can't bring people back once they're gone. Okay, well, do you want to just keep talking about the article until she comes back so that we can still get credit?
Of course, yes. Let's go ahead and do
Perfect. Okay, so You were saying that it's always a possibility that someone isn't interested and that you kind of have to find where their interest lies.
Exactly. Yeah.
Totally agree. Yeah. So, I mean, like a kid who only cares about skateboarding, he's not going to be interested in working with what are the little parts that you said they mentioned a lot? What's the name? The name of like the the little computer parts, the circuits.
Yeah.
They're not going to be interested in with circuits. Oh, she's completely gone.
Oh shoot.
We're going to continue.
Hopefully she'll be cut back. Right.
So yeah, if he's into skateboarding, he doesn't have to care about circuits. I think that's the beauty of the makerspace is that there's so many different things that you can do. Just sitting there and building a skateboard, that's enough. That counts as a makerspace.
Exactly. It allows, the makerspace allows for the use of both high-tech and low-tech building materials. So they could be either, working on some high-level circuitry, or they could be, in the wood shop, making that skateboard, making the axles and the wheels.
Exactly. Like, there's so many different parts of it. And the makerspace that's actually happening in San Diego on October 1st and 2nd, they have like these big remote control cars and stuff, but they also just like walk around showing like jewelry and stuff that they made. So it's just so open. I mean, I get how she could see that someone just wouldn't care about any of that, but I think that it would be intriguing to most people.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think I might have to actually check out one of these makerspaces myself. When did you say that it was coming up again?
It's October 1st and 2nd at Balboa Park.
Okay.
And it's $20 a person. And I can send you a link if you want. Do you have a .edu email for your school?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is that?
Oh wait, hang on. .edu for my River Springs?
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't have one.
I don't have one either, but I heard that they are giving away free tickets to educators, and I mean, being a substitute, you definitely count as an educator. So I can forward you the email here. I'll just do it right now since we don't have Rose and we're just so they're giving out away for free like 250 tickets to people who respond.
250 tickets. Wow.
And also, one of our projects is, I don't know if you chose option like 1, 2, or 3. Do you remember doing that for this? I think that was this class.
Oh, I chose option 3.
Option 3, because option 1 was actually going to a maker fair, and so I think I'm going to do option 1 and go to this one this weekend. Okay, so I'm going to forward this. What's your email?
Oh, ARNET 010.
Wait, sorry, AR?
ARNET 010 at cougars.csusm.edu.
Okay, I'm going to email this later because it's going to take me a second to figure that out.
Yeah.
But
yeah, in terms of makerspaces, what else have you noticed in the readings that have piqued your interest about these makerspaces?
Well, I found it really interesting that the first one was like really intense compared to the second ones. Like the Sector 67. That was like a hardcore makerspace. Like when I think about makerspaces, I think more about adults getting together and like putting their skills together to build things. And so that was definitely what I had thought of a makerspace. But also it was kind of too exclusive. Like it was only funded by members who paid monthly dues. Like they have a few of those around San Diego, and I don't think that I would want to go to any of those. I mean, it's so exclusive.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know? And so, although that one sounded like the most fun, the other two sounded more like maker spaces in my mind because it allowed children to come in, it allowed other people with skills to come in and teach people things. And I think that's what a maker space is supposed to be.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
There we go.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened.
But you're back.
Okay. I feel
Um,
bad, April. It's 5:45, and I know you wanted to watch the debate, so I feel terrible.
No, I think we're good. I mean, we started at 5:20, and we kept the conversation going while you're gone. So I think we'll be good at like 6:05, 6:10 if you guys are good.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Sean, will you ask her that question that you just asked me?
Oh, right. So Rose, can you hear me now?
Yes.
So right. Man. Yeah. So, is there anything else in those two articles about those maker spaces that kind of that sort of piqued your interest a bit?
As far as
Well, sorry.
No, go ahead.
In the article about the 3 different maker spaces, which one do you think sounded most like a maker space in your opinion?
Which one sounded most like one? Or I mean, the one at the Children's Museum, because I used to take my kids to the museum, and there would be like different areas of the museum where they could sort of participate in something. So I don't know if the make shop in the Children's Museum is something along the same lines of, because they talked about having materials and about building things. And so is that more of just, going to the Museum of Natural History and finding different, quote unquote, artifacts that they have to dig up, or, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know, other than letting them play and experiment at the museum. I guess I'm trying to understand how that's probably the one that I probably can understand easiest, but they're not really going there to build necessarily. They're just going there to really learn how things are built and maybe have some actual manipulation, some hands-on activities. Do you know what I mean?
I know, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what you're kind of getting at is what they were talking about on page 521. I'll read you guys the quote. It says, one of the distinctive features of all the spaces is the, oh, wait, no, I'm wrong. Sorry, hold on. This is where the quote starts. The most striking difference in the learning arrangements within these spaces is the typical duration of making. So like you said, at the museum, they're only making things for a few minutes at a time and then they're leaving.
Right.
And so the duration is really, I think, a big part of makerspaces. I think makerspaces should be about dedicating your time to making something, not just walking through a museum and saying, hey, I want to play with some, needle and thread for a few minutes.
Right. Right.
I can see how the makerspace, which one was that? That was Make Shop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
where they get to make stuff from minutes to hours and that short amount of time. I could see how that can work for some students because some students have lives outside of school, like they have social events to go to, they have sports, tutoring possibly as well.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they can't find that time in between to like explore these makerspaces, and I think that's like the good medium right there in order to provide those students who don't have that enough time to go to this makerspace and focus on these projects that take only about a few minutes or hours to do. And despite that being short, I mean that has to raise some level of interest within the students.
Mm-hmm. And in the article, they talk about Sector 67 for like 4 pages, and then I feel like they really just gloss over the other two, the Mount Mount Elliott, and then the Make Space. And there's a paragraph in here that says that Make Shop offers workshops, youth programs, guest speakers to come in and do making things. And then that's the only thing that they mention about it. They don't really get into details about the youth program. So maybe we're kind of selling them short, and they do have a lot more going on for them, but they just didn't include it in the article.
Yeah, it definitely seems like they are like really selling the Sector 67 Make Shop.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, because it's like $40 for a membership there,
Mm-hmm.
and they have access to all these different high-level equipment like laser cutters, 3D printers. Like what?
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder, and I know my role is a skeptic, so I'll just keep being skeptical. I'm almost a little concerned, just in the sense of it seems like we as a society act as if we don't have all these things for these kids to go out and do somewhere else, then they either can't learn or won't learn. And I guess it just reminds me of, of growing up or having like game night or having like, whether it's a Lego set or the Tinker, where they're actually building and learning and problem solving in those situations where they don't necessarily have to go to a maker space or whatever the terminology would be. So I think that's one of my concerns, just as a parent, if we just say that there's a lot of focus on that side of it, as opposed to maybe spending some time doing a project with your kid at home and building the volcano with that lava, you know what I mean? Just more hands-on with your child, as opposed to kind of pushing it off to somebody else. Not to say that there's not a time and a place for that, but it just seems like this is just really focused on, that's all. Yeah.
I think that's a great point, and the Mount Elliott one focus. I would agree that there's not always a place or a need for a makerspace, but I think it was the Mount Elliott one that said it was in a like low income, under-resourced neighborhoods. That really, some of those people maybe wouldn't have gotten involved in building things unless there was a makerspace there for them.
Right.
So I agree, it's best to really encourage your kids at home to do these kinds of things and get them interested. But if you're not available, then this is kind of a good place to send your kids.
No, I mean, that's true. And I mean, I get it.
But I agree, parents should be the biggest push, like, pushing their kids towards their interest.
True, yeah. Not to mention, there are resources online that can allow for such makerspace to happen in, the comfort of your own home. Like the first article said, there's do-it-yourself, the DIY.com. Other internet resources in which they can introduce this to their children, the sort of projects that they can make, and see what they think about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like we're saying, the curiosity should start at home, and can start at home. A makerspace isn't necessary for that because of all those online resources that we saw in the shorter article.
Right. I guess I just don't want the kid. So let's say you have a classroom full of kids, and you I mean, I don't know, maybe you introduce this to the kids. Let's say you've got a group of second graders, 7-year-olds, or something like that, where, and I know it talks about the lower income area in Mount Elliott having them, But the kids have to get there, and if they aren't a lower income, do their parents have cars to get them there? Or there just seems, I don't know. I just don't want the focus, and I'm not saying that's what you guys are doing. By all means, that's not what I'm saying. But just from all the articles, it just seems like that's a big focus. And so I just, I am a skeptic.
That's a really good point. No, yeah, you are the skeptic. So I think it'd be great if the maker movement wasn't at a set location, but at a travel location, so that it could go from school to school and get students interested in these kind of things. And I think maybe, I don't know, I'm spacing on the first article now because I read that one first. But did they mention something like a traveling sort of thing, like the Maker Fair in San Diego?
Let me look. Because I was thinking something like a bookmobile, something along those lines.
Yeah, a maker mobile.
A maker mobile, exactly. Yes.
Are we going to start this, guys? Are we going to be the ones to...
So do you use...
Are we writing articles?
So April, what grade do you teach?
High school.
Oh, high school. So do you use any type of maker movement or maker programs or classes or anything for your kids?
No, but I'd like to, because really I wish I could Google control find in this article. They talk about the next generation science standards in one of these articles and how closely it relates to the maker movement. How everything is soon in science class is going to be more open-ended and more exploratory. So, I mean, I could definitely see myself using things like this if I had the materials. The only hard part would be getting the materials, I think.
Sure.
Right.
But I think that they're going to be pushing more things like this once we get to NGSS. Let me see if I can find a quote.
Interesting.
I took so many notes on this, I don't even know where I would. Okay, you just want to talk about a con of maker movement that I found in the article?
Sure. Which article are we talking about?
We're talking about the big article. It's on page 515.
Okay.
In the second to last paragraph, it says, the last sentence, several participants mentioned that they find it hard to concentrate on a project if there are too many people in the space, and expressed frustration when people offer advice or make comments on their work at a stage in the project where they do not want it. So, so that I marked that as a con of the maker movement.
I could see that as a con, because as there has to be a lot going around.
Right.
In these maker spaces, like you have so many different projects going on that students are interested in what those people are doing instead of what they have right there that they're working on.
Mm-hmm. So it could kind of lead to like a chaotic environment instead of everyone sitting focused on what they're supposed to be working on.
Right, and I think, if you do have a child who's not as comfortable with it, or maybe it's their first time there, it can be overwhelming for them because they don't really know what's going on. So to get unless they have like one-on-one teachers with them, which doesn't sound like they do, I could see how that would be, distracting and difficult for some kids. Because I'm the kind of learn, like when I'm reading for class, I need it quiet. Like I don't want people talking. I can't have the TV on. However, when my son, who's 25, is reading something, he can have the TV on or he can have the radio on, so we all learn differently. So for me, the noise would be very distracting, where for him, it wouldn't be. So yeah, I can see both sides to it.
Okay.
Go ahead, Sean.
Maybe something that could be, proposed to help maybe alleviate that is, have the makerspace, divided into classrooms for each different project that they have. So that way, students.
Could you repeat that idea? I couldn't hear that.
Oh, of course. So what these makerspaces could do is they could divide the projects into classrooms. You know, have kids that are working on those same projects be in those same classroom, be in the same classroom as those that are working on that same project. Uh, that way, they're not so distracted, and they'll be able to focus that. Oh, hey, they're doing the same thing that I'm doing, so I might as well just go ahead and do the thing.
And really, when you're thinking about that, like we were talking about making it the maker movement mobile, like going to classrooms. If they were to go to classrooms or to go to a school, that's the perfect environment, because then they could split those kids up into separate rooms and say, hey, if you want to make this, come to this room. If you want to do this, come to this room. And then I think it would reduce the distractions of kids working. So that's a great idea.
That's true.
Also, I just realized too that maybe there are some students that don't have parents or have grandmothers or grandfathers that or any other guardian that isn't so knowledgeable in the makerspace. This would be perfect for kids who only go to school, and if these makerspaces can go to these schools, that
Right.
can definitely get their interest up.
Sure. No, I agree.
Yeah, for those kids who need, something else, they go home and there's no parent there even to keep them company. They need something like this to occupy their time. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yes. Yeah.
April, you're doing a great job.
What?
You're doing a great job.
Yeah.
I know, we're
doing awesome.
I never thought I could talk about this article for 45 minutes.
Come on, you're a high school teacher. You got this.
I know, but not an English teacher. This is a big art. All these articles are very big.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Which makerspace would you guys want to go and spend time in out of those three?
Wait, time out. That was totally, didn't understand anything you just said.
I said, which of those three makerspaces would you, hey, let's kill some time. Why don't I just give a brief background on all three of those? So if you look at page 522, they give a nice little chart of the makerspaces. So we have the first one, Sector 67.
Right.
That was mostly adults. You had to pay to be in it, but it was like really high-tech activities. Like, they talked over and over again about sending that balloon up into the atmosphere. So that was the first one. And then we had Mount St. Eliot, which was the one at the church, right?
Yes, in the lower income.
That was the one.
Yeah.
Where they get to do bike repairs. They have digital and electronic
wood and metal
tools.
shop. Yeah.
Yeah, and that one was open to people of all ages. And then number 3 was Make Shop. It was the one in the museum that people just kind of spent a few minutes in at a time. So which of those 3 would you guys want to spend time in if you had the option?
I think for me, I think I might have said this earlier, it would be the Make Shop, just because it's something I'm comfortable in, and it's something I have a little experience in. And so in being new to the whole, makerspace genre world, for me, that would be like a nice way to ease into it.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
It does.
Because it also allows you to do it. It says there's open-ended play, God bless you, and then there's solo play if you want. So there's structured workshops. So so that seems to work for me.
Sean, what about you?
Oh, me? Well, if I had the money to pay $40 a month, I would definitely do the Sector 67 right there, because with all the high-level tech equipment, I'm kind of a bit of a tech junkie, so.
Yeah, I got that from you, Sean. You gave off that vibe.
I think he was the only one who could figure out how to get in here and have everyone hear him.
Right. And it's
Well, that's
amazing that your email worked and I never got April, so that must say something about your skill level.
Well, what's interesting is that we all chose different ones because I would prefer the Mount Elliott one.
Okay.
I think if I went to Sector 67, I would be too intimidated to try and do anything. Because I like technology, but and then if I would feel like I'd be kind of bored, I wouldn't see a long-term goal there. So I think Mount Elliott would be the best one for me to go to, because it just sounded like it sounded like such a community to me. Like people seem to know each other. I think they talked about the old man who would go and fix TVs there so that they could use them. I keep saying Mount St. Elliott because I keep thinking about Mount St. Helens because I talk about Mount Elliott. But I think that one was really community, and even in the description it says an intergenerational, place of learning. But
right.
we could all go to each.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We each go to one and we come back and we talk about it someday.
Right. Exactly.
Sean, I was Googling makerspaces. Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I was Googling makerspaces in San Diego, and there is a place like Sector 67 you can buy into in San Diego. I'm assuming we're all in San Diego.
Yes. Well, I live in Carlsbad, but yeah.
Carlsbad?
Temecula.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Temecula, okay.
Yeah. So that's definitely a long ways. Oh, yeah.
I'm about 5 minutes from Cal State San Marcos. I'm lucky.
Oh, nice.
You are lucky, right?
Please.
I don't even have to get on the way.
All you have to do is just walk to campus. That's it.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Rose, were you here when I was talking about the Balboa Park makerspace?
Yes, you said, I think this weekend, right?
Yeah, it's this weekend.
I'm actually volunteering. I volunteer for the Pancreatic Cancer, and there's a 5K this weekend. But if I can go Saturday, that might be interesting.
Yeah, it's like an all-day event. It's 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. both days, I think.
That actually might help me with this class.
I don't think you were here when I was telling Sean, what did you choose, option 1, 2, or 3 in the research project?
Say that, what was the question?
There was an assignment last week where we had this option 1, 2, or which one we were going to do. You remember which one you said you were going to do? Was it 1, 2?
I said, I did pick one. Let me see. Let me go. Will it show me if I go back into my course?
Yeah, here, I'll see.
What'd you say?
I can see if I'm already signed in, so I can see if I can find it.
I think I picked number 3, but let me see if I can go to it. I'm sorry, I should know this by heart.
Oh, no. This is a confusing setup a little bit, but yeah, it says you did option 3.
Okay.
And I chose option 1 because it was actually going to and participating in a makerspace. And so that's why I'm like so excited that there's actually one in San Diego.
That's a good point. I guess I could always change it, right?
Yeah, I think you could probably change it. I mean, going to one sounds, after reading, 100 pages about them, I would love to actually go to one.
That's true. I picked the 3rd one because, like I said, so my role on campus is to help hire the new faculty, and so I'm trying to implement electronic version of the hiring process. So that's why I thought this one, regarding the data collection and the institutional setting, maybe. I don't know, but that's why I picked number 3.
I couldn't really understand options 2 and 3. That's why I picked number 1.
Gotcha.
I think I might actually change my option after going to this.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be fun to go and see something in person. Plus, my coworker has been, and he just said it's so fun.
I think it would be not only fun. I'm not looking at it as fun. I'm looking at it as probably informative for me to like really, because I'm a visual learner. So to actually see the concept in reality would probably help me a lot to understand it better and maybe not be so skeptical.
Yeah, I mean, reading this article is one thing, but actually seeing one really would give you
Right.
better perspective.
Right.
So, okay, well, do you guys want, I'm summarizer. Do you guys want me to start doing my summarizer job?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, to summarize our big ideas from these two articles, we started off talking about if there would be interest for some students, if it might be hard to engage students in maker spaces. We had kind of a disagreement there, but, you know. And then we started to talk about how, well, we had a lot of things. Rose got lost, and then she came back. And then we were talking about how home is where the curiosity should start for these kinds of things. Parents should be helping their children develop these interests early on, but that it would be nice if there was some sort of maker mobile where we made it accessible to students and children in all different places, especially because, excuse me, sorry, especially because a school setting would be a perfect place for a makerspace because it has separate rooms. It has some tools that are already necessary for developing the maker ideas. Okay, and then do we have any questions that are left after this discussion? Do you guys have any questions that I could jot down?
I don't have a question. I just had a comment. I was thinking as you were summarizing that in a perfect world, it would be nice to not only have makerspace classes for the kids, but for their parents.
Mm.
Because so many parents aren't versed in technology or aren't, didn't have access so to give them the conceptual understanding of what it is so that I don't know if they could help their kids with it if it was at home, but I think it would make for a good dialogue, if nothing else. But that's just my thought.
I definitely agree. My school sometimes hosts classes like how to do a resume for parents, how to do a resume, how to check your students' grades, how to apply for FAFSA. And I think that if I really sat down and brainstormed, there's probably a lot of things that parents could take classes on that would benefit them and their families.
Sure. No, that's true.
Okay.
I learned a lot from this. I learned a lot from listening to your the different point of views and the different understandings of the three types.
Sean, do you have any questions or closing thoughts?
I do, actually. So my thesis is basically going to focus on the gender gap in computer sciences, because what's startling to see is that as of recently, only women earn only 18% of computer science bachelor degrees. And
I'm sorry, women are 15% what?
Women earn 18% of undergraduate computer science degrees. And that's really kind of startling right there, especially with this whole the advances in technology that we're making. And I'm wondering if these makerspaces can help, pique those interests, spark some interest in women to really explore these different sciences.
That's a really good question. I mean, so many places throughout these articles, they talked about little girls as young as like 10, 12 who were working with circuits, and they started out sewing, and all of a sudden they were interested in circuitry. That would really is going to help you a lot with your thesis. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. You guys have anything else they want to say?
Nope, I'm good.
I'm all good here.
Okay, I'm going to email you the link as soon as I figure out how to get that link.
Sean, can you send me the link, please?
Will do.
I'm kidding, April. I'm kidding.
No.
Well, it was nice to meet you guys.
That was nice to meet both of you.
Nice meeting both of you as well.
All right, we'll probably see each other in later hangouts. So
yeah. All right, you guys have a good rest of your night.
All right, you too.
All right.
All right, thank you. Bye.
All right. See you.